The essence of this press conference by the youth is to make things clear and on interesting developments within the Osu traditional area. We, the youth, as subjects of the stool, we have had enough of the litany of lies and misinformation in Osu chieftaincy affairs for far too long. With in-depth investigations through diligence, we are in possession of all dossiers in terms of judgments in Osu matters as well as chieftaincy matters. We, the youth of Osu, have followed Osu chieftaincy dispute since the installation of Nekinka Dowona, because we wondered why there was a sitting chief for the kingmakers to install another one. We have been previewed to all court cases by Ninoto Owo against His Majesty Neokwe King Kandowona and the kingmakers, including even taking on the National House of Chiefs in court, for which rulings were made against him. In short, and by undisputed record and fact, His Majesty Neokwe King Kandowona is the legitimate paramount chief of Osu and must be respected as such. There are rules and regulations and hierarchy or chain of command in every institution in Ghana, including chieftaincy. Now, how can one not respect authority and expect authority to be conferred on him? We want to make the record straight that our brother, Ishmael Adumwa, for all we know, has never been the Osiaini of Osu. That position is very much vacant. Are you then saying that all the allegations and evidences that existed, did you just find them out, or were they made available to Ninoto Owo during the years of litigation? Are you again saying that the whole of the judicial system in Ghana and chieftaincy structures are corrupt? And can you, who is not so much educated in chieftaincy matters, be more intelligent than all the structures and institutions that have been established? Now, being a former youth executive of a political party does not give you the mandate to hurl abusive words and show gross respect to our revered chiefs who have gone through the processes and are leaders in developing the community. By virtue of all these rulings, we, the youth of Osu, believe that Ninoto Owo should not be given any recognition in Ghana, and Osu for that matter. If they have any grievance, they should address it to the properly laid down structures in the Osu chieftaincy hierarchy and not sought to disgrace themselves publicly. We, the Osu Youth Development Association, shall not allow for this to continue. We will use all legitimate means to make sure that Osu is peaceful, as it has always been, today, tomorrow, and in the coming years. We have no qualms with any Osu elder or subjects from any of the 4 divisions. Our doors are always opened to all elders and sundry. But one has to exhibit accreditation documents, a paper of recognition from the Traditional Council, the Regional House of Chiefs, Dodoa, the National House of Chiefs, Kumasi, and the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, State House. All Osu lands belongs to the stool, including the just adjudged or released parcel of lands between Gimpa and Legon. We as youth call on Osu Manche, President of the Osu Traditional Council, and Osu Jase in its entirety, to properly exercise good stewardship to the subjects to whom they are accountable. We are now in the rule of law regime, and through due diligence, through the courts, we have finally won, and possession has been handed over to the Osu stool, and indeed the Osu Manche, and on behalf of all the subjects of the stool. We, the youth, advise that proper documentation of the parcel of land be acquired, and all necessary land title registration procedures be followed to secure the land absolutely, to avoid any ambiguity. In consideration of how the land can be put to use, we offer the following advice free of charge. We suggest that the stool should enter into private partnership, SPP, with well-meaning investors to develop modern hostel complex infrastructure, since the parcel of land is very close to the University of Ghana, Legon, for the benefit of the youth of Ghana students who find themselves at the tertiary levels to curb down the huge exorbitant hostel costs. We, the youth of Osu, believe in democracy and the rule of law. We believe that before one could do anything lawful, then one must have the backing of the law. We are tempted to ask, with what authority did the coordinator of the national security, Honorable Yaudonko, Lieutenant Colonel Kusidako, Director of Operations of the National Security, with the support of the National Security, military personnel, and the Ghana Police Service, to destroy properties of the Osu stool? We are quite surprised of the sudden development when there is a clear and several judgments on the said parcel of land given by a proper court of jurisdiction in the country, and to be frowned upon by people in government. The only sense one can make from this happening is the so-called order from above. The land that has been given back to the Osu stool per the judgments of the courts should be left for Osu, but not to be taken over by intruders. We therefore call on the government to take immediate action on what is going on, because we, the youth of Osu, are not happy for the disrespectful attitude being ushered on the stool and the kingmakers of Osu. Secondly, Professor Ayite must be aware that a person of his caliber, taking into consideration his reputation, and more precisely, being a Gamfomobi, one does not expect such a loose talk from him. We also want to remind him that the proverb says, when you are climbing a ladder, those you meet on your way up are the same people you meet when coming down. The least we say about Professor Ayite, the better. We, the youth of Osu today, have not enjoyed a clear-cut development in all areas, and this is due to some hypocrites who are always self-centered and always orchestrating mischievous allegations as if Osu is having two chiefs. Our absolute probe into Osu chieftaincy matters leaves us no room for doubt that Osu has only one chief in the person of His Majesty, D.F. Neokwe Kinkan Dawona VI, who has been carefully selected, nominated, elected, and installed by the royal kingmakers of Osu. To say the least, his name has been entered into the National Register of Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the youth of Osu Development Association, call on our elders that litigation must end. Every stool subject believes that we need developments and jobs in our communities, and many other things more relevant to life than this litigation that has plagued us for 50 years and over. Litigation will not get us development. Litigation will destroy us, and everything that we have will be taken away from us. Enough has been taken already. All citizens of Osu must rise to the challenge that litigation must end, because we are lacking behind adversely.